So Clovis Unified has incredible first-class facilities, and we are really excited. I'm super proud that we have that here in Clovis and can welcome the state championships for track and field for all of our incredible high school athletes and their families. It's wonderful for the city of Clovis to be able to welcome them, and of course to show off our facilities with Clovis Unified is really exciting. Buchanan's a great facility, and we're proud to be able to host the state championships for track and field. It's unfortunate that part of that has become a discussion of boys competing against girls in sports, and there's been a big effort nationally, but even here in the state of California, the tide has shifted and boys don't belong in girls' sports. And just recently, the Public Policy Institute of California, PPIC, did a survey in April of this year that showed that 71% of public school parents here in California, in blue state California, want children to be participating in athletics based on their sex assigned at birth. Now, when you have 71% of public school parents in California, that's not just Republicans. That's a whole lot of Democrats and independents. This is not a Republican versus Democrat issue. It isn't even that political. This is about protecting and respecting our girls in their sports and their spaces. And so the fact that this weekend at the CIF State Track and Field Championships at Buchanan, there's a boy who will be competing against some of our girls, it's unfortunate that that's part of the discussion. We should be able to focus on and celebrate the achievements and the incredible amount of hard work that these girls and the boys have done to excel in their sports. But this has become part of the story, and it's too bad that the CIF, the governing body of our athletics, Governor Newsroom, our state legislature, haven't done the right thing to course correct and make sure that boys aren't competing against girls in sports. One, this needs to be, deserves to be, and absolutely should be expected to be an incredibly safe environment. Again, these athletes have worked incredibly hard to be where they are, and they deserve the opportunity to compete on a fair and level playing field, but with safety and security as well. Their families deserve the same thing. I don't have any direct knowledge, but I have every confidence that whether it's Clovis Police Department, Clovis Unified and their police department, there's incredible cooperation that goes on all the time with our law enforcement partners. And so I know that we will do whatever is necessary to make sure that that environment is a safe one for the athletes, the families, and anyone who goes to attend this weekend. But again, this isn't about making an unsafe environment for these kids. We actually are looking to protect these girls, to make sure that they have safe spaces to compete. So anybody who wants to do something that would jeopardize that, I would absolutely condemn that, and I don't expect that to happen here this weekend. But I think it's really come to a head with last year's presidential election. Transgender issues, and particularly men's and women's sports, was a topic of conversation. And it's one of the things that President Trump campaigned very heavily on. And on February 5th of this past year, he signed an executive order keeping men out of women's sports. As that unfolded, many states came into compliance with that, with their state level athletic associations. We also saw the NC2A come into compliance with our collegiate level athletics. And so ultimately what we are looking for is for California to do the same thing. Our CIF, California Interscholastic Federation, needs to come in line and be compliant with the Trump administration's request for men to be kept out of women's sports. We'd like to see Governor Newsom, who himself acknowledged that this is deeply unfair, to be part of the solution. Do the right thing, have a slight course correction to make sure that girls have protected, safe spaces. We respect their ability and their efforts to compete, and make sure they can do it on an even and fair playing field with girls only. I think there's a reason that we don't see a lot of biological girls dominating in boys' sports. We do see biological boys coming and having success in girls' sports because there's an undeniable biological difference. Even some of the standards for qualifications, particularly in track and field meets, are different in the boys' arenas versus the girls' arenas. Whether it's, how high you have to jump just to qualify or how far, whatever it might be, there's differences. And most people are willing to acknowledge and accept that fact, that biological reality. And so again, it's just clear there's a difference. Girls aren't finding incredible success in boys' sports, but boys are finding some success in girls' sports. And I think that's because there's a biological difference and advantage for boys in those girls' sports.